Hey, we beat Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse.
Ooh,
Ain't that good?
yeah.
Feeling good. Now, this is probably going to be the most divisive Megami Tensei game in a while.
Oh, absolutely. I can already see it in the comments of a lot of my videos.
Yeah, you can already see it being
I get
all
I get two comments. Like, I'm serious. I get two kinds of comments. It's either this game is amazing, I love it, it's in my top 5. Or it's either like this game is trash, I hate it, it's Persona. I'm going to kill myself. Like, that's the only two comments I've gotten about it.
Now, let's start with the, big shift. Law and Chaos are now joke ends, as they should be.
Yeah, they basically are.
Yeah.
It's interesting that we did a video about should Megami Tensei even have a neutral route, and then they go and make a game that is nothing but a neutral route.
Yeah. Because they realize that the neutral route makes Law and Chaos completely irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
So they just made a branching neutral route.
Yeah.
And then the alignments stop being Law versus Chaos and start being, I don't know, Persona versus Mainline.
Not really. I don't know. Like, okay, so it's peace and anarchy, and
No, I believe it is Bonds and Massacre.
really,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it was peace and anarchy. At least in some, like, that might have been like an earlier translation of them.
It was.
It was? Okay, whatever.
As of right now, it is being called the Bonds route and the Massacre route.
Well, isn't that gay?
True pacifist or genocide.
Wow.
And there's no real in-between on them.
There really isn't.
Which is disappointing because...
Yeah. And it's coming from the guy who doesn't like neutral. AKA you.
No, I think the problem is that neutral is too good. Like, alignment should not be like waifus. There should not be one that is objectively best.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I really like about the alignment system, is just that all these options are shit. That's my favorite, is like SMT1 and Strange Journeys, like Law and Chaos endings, where it's like, this is fucked beyond any conceivable belief.
No, the alignments here...
Alignments in quotations.
What route did you pick?
Bonds.
Same.
Not because, like, here's the deal, is that it's not necessarily because I believed in it particular, but because it's the objectively right moral choice.
Yeah. Because there is no reason for you to kill your friends.
No, there really is not, because from a story perspective and a gameplay perspective, they're useful to me.
Yeah. They have been nothing but helpful, and they have not done anything wrong like the other friends have.
Right, they've never really opposed me.
Yeah.
Like, it almost happened, with, like, Gaston. It was like, alright, here we go, it's gonna be Law, like, Chaos, and Hallelujah's gonna be the Chaos guy. But then it doesn't?
Yeah. They just sort of, like, get along.
Yeah.
Like, they're assholes to each other, but
Which is pretty realistic.
In the same way that Yosuke and Kanji.
Yeah.
In the same way that Yukari and Junpei are assholes to each other. It's not really a big deal.
Right, it's like asshole camaraderie.
Yeah.
It's like banter, pretty much.
Yeah.
It starts out more as like moral personal disagreements, and then it's just kind of banter.
Yeah. Because in the end, it's just you are on the same side.
Yeah.
And I kind of didn't get where Togda was coming from when he was like, you know, kill your friends.
Yeah, me either. I was like, wait, what? Like, I understood the philosophy of like, nah, fuck them. They're just gonna drag you down. Like, that's like a kind of chaosy thing.
You'd be stronger on your own, kid.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Xander Mobus. He's Dogda's voice actor.
I know.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird? Like, I want to see Dogda announce Smash Brothers.
Oh, dude, Dogda DLC for Smash.
Choose your character, kid.
Mewtwo.
You'd be stronger without the DLC.
Get rid of it. Delete it. You don't need it.
You'd be stronger with just Captain Falcon, kid.
You'd be stronger not playing this fucking game to begin with.
Like, if there actually was a Shin Megami Tensei moment where at any point they would oppose you, then I could see Dogda's philosophy. But as things are from a story perspective, they have not slowed me down at all.
Right. If anything, they've been the most useful party members in any Megami Tensei. Other than characters you directly control, like in Devil Survivor.
Yeah. Especially Navarre.
Oh, Navarre's fantastic.
Navarre is fantastic.
Navarre is probably, like, now at least in my top 3 Megami Tensei characters.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. In SNT4, he went from being this guy who, like, barely remembered and didn't care about, to, like, you know the part in the end where he, like, almost disappears?
Mm-hmm.
I would have literally cried a little bit if he disappeared, because that would have been such a sad moment. If it's like Navarre has passed on and he just vanishes.
Yeah, that would be... And that's why I couldn't, like, do the massacre route, because I was like...
I was too attached to him.
Yeah. And was that the weakness?
Maybe. Like, I always like to bring up Devil Survivor in any Megami Tensei discussion for whatever reason. But in Devil Survivor, that has a similar kind of setup to this, where all these guys are pretty much your friends, and they really don't oppose you that much. Some of them do, but in general, they're, like, neutral to allies to you.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, I don't feel as bad when I went Chaos, and some of them I'm like, alright, y'all gotta just leave me alone so I can do this. I think the reason for that is that the, like, lust for power sort of overtakes the friendship of it.
But here, they are not in your way of power.
No, they're really not. If anything, they're directly helping you towards your path.
Yeah, because they are giving you more turns.
Yeah. Interrupting enemy attacks, buffing you, instant killing enemies, just, like, all kinds of shit.
Yeah. The only real disappointment is Gaston is...
Oh, Gaston's a prick.
Yeah, he takes your turn.
He steals your turns, which I think is so funny, but also really annoying.
Yeah. Like, he is great for just grinding levels.
Oh, yeah.
But
I think Toki is better for that role.
No, because I feel... Because Gaston has sick area of effect attacks.
Mm-hmm. Those are pretty good. Like, yeah. Toki's no good against hordes, but individual enemies, she's probably better.
So, the fact that your friends are actually good in this game makes it feel very un-Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah, it really does. But it's weird. It's like, it's not something that I'm necessarily complaining about. It just feels weird. It's like if you go to a restaurant and you order, I don't know, roast beef or some shit, and they bring out a really good steak. It's like, well, this isn't necessarily what I ordered, but this is still good.
If we're going with food analogies, I'd say it's kind of different from that.
Okay.
I'd say it's like going to a burger.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, they have, like, sushi on the menu.
Okay.
And somehow, the sushi is good. That is what I feel from this.
Yeah.
It is not right, but it's not
It's not
bad.
right, but it feels okay.
Yeah. Like, when I step back and look at things, I'm like, this is Persona Apocalypse right here.
I mean, I'm close to calling it Persona. I feel bad doing that because it's not quite there, but it's close. Dangerously so. And I'm not even one of those people who's like, I fucking hate Persona. I love Persona. Persona 3 is my favorite video game.
Yeah.
But there's certain lines that are very dangerous to kind of cross.
Like, the idea of a Bonds route.
In Megami Tensei. Like, neutral has been the closest thing to a Bonds route in general. But even then, that ends in one of two ways. That's either absolute murder everybody or don't murder anybody.
Yeah. So that's something that has really changed.
Mm-hmm. One thing I think would have worked really well is Devil Survivor 2 handled this pretty well. Because Devil Survivor 2, again with the Devil Survivor, but Devil Survivor 2 has moments where, like, everybody and their different factions sort of splits up. Like, the guys who like Chaos go up in one group, the ones who like Law go in another, and the neutral people fuck off somewhere else. I think that would have worked if, like, your party all goes their separate ways, and then you have to try to reunite them. And then depending on, like, the choices you've made, some people absolutely won't rejoin.
Yeah, I feel that could have worked, but the one time someone does branch off from the huddle with Gaston, he's back almost immediately.
Yeah, there was really no tension, not that much tension that he was gone.
Yeah.
Like, at most, I was expecting maybe, like, a half-boss fight, like what happens with Toki.
Yeah.
But other than that, I was pretty positive he was gonna come back.
Yeah. But then I got to the end, and I am giving what is basically friendship speeches to Wee-Woo.
Wee-woo, wee-woo.
I'm giving a friendship speech to Wee-Woo, and I'm like, wait, am I giving a friendship speech to Wee-Woo?
I don't know, they're less friendship speeches and more like, you're an incompetent hypocrite kind of speeches.
Yeah, but they were things that we learned from our friendship.
That's true.
And when another thing that stuck out as a very Persona thing was characters awakening.
I like that, though. I thought that was cool.
I thought it was cool, but I also thought it was Persona.
I mean, I can kind of see it.
I could almost see Talking Mikazuchi becoming Burning Nobunaga behind them. And that feels bad.
I thought they were cool moments, so I think that kind of, like, overlaps any Persona.
I don't know. I felt like the moments were too corny to be cool.
A little bit too cliche?
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm kind of a fan of, like, kinda, like, corny shit like that.
Alright. Gaston's, I thought was cool.
Right, Gaston's is probably the most, like, natural?
Yeah.
Like, doesn't he have... Is the one where he gets Gungnir the Awakening, or was that, like, an added thing?
That was an added thing.
Okay.
His
so he basically has two of them.
Yeah. His awakening was when he broke Michael's spear.
That was a pretty cool moment. Another thing, the Archangels are nowhere to be found in this game.
Yeah.
Which is fine by me, because I've always hated those fucking angels.
You have your own angel.
And who's that?
Oh, you know who it is.
I don't know who.
Your good old trustworthy friend.
Ooh.
Dude, I'm asking you to, like...
Oh, I have to fill this in?
Yeah.
Okay, my good old trusty friend, Temmie. I just looked at the first thing in my peripheral vision is the fucking Temmie, like, bead thing I got from a convention.
Oh, talk about Mistema.
Dude, I love Mistema! That's another little complaint, is that Mistema had no major role. And I thought that was weird. Like, no, I have a legitimate reason for this. This isn't just me being dumb. But in SMT4, Mistema was made, like, a big deal out of because he's the only angel that's not a prick. Like, there's a whole DLC and a half about him. About how he wants to just fuck those archangels up because he's like not anti-God, but he's more in line with like contemporary sort of Christian thinking of like, yeah, let's be good to each other, let's love God, he'll love us back, and everything will be hoo-ha, the whole world works. Mm-hmm. Instead of like, I'm gonna nuke y'all because you sneezed.
Yeah.
So Mastema I thought was really interesting, and I'm sad we didn't get sort of a conclusion to, his whole deal.
Well, in a sense, we do. I guess. Like, you can argue with it.
I mean, he shows up, but...
He shows up in the final dungeon as a random encounter, which kind of makes you think that him being the way he is just Wee-Woo's will.
I guess it's hard to tell if that's the Mastema or just like Mastema clones, because he does something similar with Metatron, where he just has an army of them. But the Mastema clones don't say anything, so I think that would have been cool if it's like Mastema says some shit, and you think like, man, is he brainwashed or like what's going on? Like just some hint.
Yeah.
I'm gay for Mastema. I don't know what else to tell you.
I legit freaked out when I saw the fucking Metatron.
Dude, wasn't that so cool?
Yeah, and then when I was all like, oh, thank God it's over, and then I found out it was a random encounter.
Yeah, like, oh. The Metatron hordes. That's when you know you're in God's house, is when he's sending the Metatron hordes.
It was a very cool final dungeon. Mm-hmm. Lessened by the fact that I was going through it with my friends. Yeah.
I wish it went on for less, or at least there was more interesting shit going on. Because that last stretch is like, fuck, man.
Yeah. Like, I legit spent 2 days going through that dungeon.
I spent like a solid day and a half.
Yeah. What am I supposed to do with this mess?
It's a mess. It's such a mess.
Like, I love showing people the map of the place.
Oh god, it's fucked. It's like almost Strange Journey levels.
I'd say it's worse than Strange Journey.
In some ways it is. Because it's just so disorienting.
The biggest reason for that is the movement system.
Mm-hmm.
Because Strange Journey, at least it was a grid, and you would go zoop zoop.
Right.
This place. But here you have, like, free control over your movement, so things are just slower.
Yeah. And it's harder to map that place out because it's all just, like, squares.
Yeah. And the squares are too wide.
Mm-hmm. And there's really not any discernible, like, which direction should I go next, so you just kind of try every direction, like a fucking mouse or some shit.
I managed, by some miracle, to make it to the end tonight.
Me too. Amazingly.
I'm straight out the presses being done.
Mm-hmm. I've been done for a week or two. About a week.
Now, did you dabble with the DLC?
No, I have not.
I touched the ones that gave me demons. Because I don't like the idea of missing out on major content like that.
Yeah. I looked up a video of somebody doing the Mephisto DLC, not because I cared about Mephisto, because I wanted to see the beach.
That felt that was the most Persona.
That's Persona, so at least that's DLC. Yeah. That is just like unarguably just like weeb shit.
The fucking sea cucumber is like, wait, this is actually happening.
Yeah, but who had the best swimsuit? See, they all had a charm to them. Why does Toki even have a swimsuit? Why do any of them have swimsuits?
I loved how Navarre got his body.
He just has a body.
And I love how
he doesn't even explain how or why. I guess it's just Mephisto doing us a solid.
I love how he had fucking floaties, though, because he died from drowning.
That's so funny. Dude, Navarre, he drowned.
He drowned because...
he wanted to see some titty.
He took off his pants to masturbate and tripped.
What a noble death. That's so funny. That's the best thing about Navarre, is that he's just such a funny character. He's like...
A funnier character than we've had before.
He's a funnier character than anything we've ever had. If we get Navarre working, it'll all come together. And it pretty much did. Working. I'm fine with Navarre now being in any Megami Tensei thing.
Navarre Frost.
Yeah. Oh, dude!
So what was your call on the bosses of the game?
They were pretty good. I felt like it had a lack of, like, those really, like, scary kind of boss encounters until, like, midway through.
Like, the most scary boss encounter is when you had to fight, when you had the 3 bosses one after another. First you fought Abe, and then you fought, Merkaba, then you fought Lucifer.
Oh, that shit was terrifying.
Yeah.
Actually, you get a break between Abe and, Lucifer and Merkaba.
Mm-hmm. But still.
Yeah. That shit was hard. I'm glad he didn't go in their second fucking forms. Especially not Merkaba. I hate that fucking design.
I love the, like, talk in between.
Mm-hmm.
The talk during the Lucifer fight. You know, the ones where you have to, like, pick a dialogue option.
Yeah.
That was probably like, my favorite moment in anything ever.
I'd never pick talk shit because I knew it wouldn't be good.
I did.
What happens?
Alright, so I had Hallelujah at the time. And he was like, "Are you sure about this, dude?" And then you get the, like, prompt of, you throw every insult you can at Lucifer. And then Lucifer, like, is about to respond for a second. But then, like, you get an ellipses, and he's like, "Are you out of your mind? Do you have any idea what is happening right now?" And then he gets so mad that he gets distracted.
That's funny. That's awesome. I'd figure he'd just be like, "That's not gonna work. I know you're trying to distract me."
No, he gets mad.
It's awesome.
I just imagine my demons in the back just being my hype men during it.
Fall off your chair, asshole.
But aside from that, and the final encounter with Wee-Woo, I never really felt I had too much difficulty with bosses.
Some bosses gave me a rough time until I kind of figured them out. Krishna being probably the best example. Because Krishna's fucking toot-toots will ruin your life. But then I figured out Hallelujah can just, like, completely destroy status effects. So that made the fight super easy.
Yeah, plus he's weak dark.
Yeah.
And I had Alice.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about how Asahi dies and then comes back.
That was another Persona moment.
That was pretty... I don't know if I'd call it Persona, I'd just say dumb, like, writing. Like, nothing annoys me more than when I can tell what's gonna happen. And just from, like, years and years of just, like, playing games and shit, you kind of pick up on, like, writing cues for when things are gonna happen. So the second they mention her soul is in the egg, I'm like, alright, the tension's gone, we're gonna get her back. They should have never mentioned anything about her fucking soul being in that egg. They should have been like, nope, once Shisha eats a soul, it's gone.
That is...
Like, the setup to her death is so good, though. Because, like, fucking Shaysha Flynn is the scariest thing ever.
Especially when you get that creepypasta shot of him.
Oh god, that's horrifying. The hyper-realistic blood. And the part where he, like, eats Asahi, that's fucked up. Like, the way all the blood drops on her goggles. Like, that's really terrifying.
Like, I did not see it coming.
Me either.
Like, I
knew Krishna and the Divine Powers weren't done, just because, first of all, Krishna doesn't crack into red shit. And you never got your boss fight with Odin. And that's the two major ones that tip you off.
And I didn't think that I was actually done with Shisha, but I didn't expect him to be Flynn.
Right. I assumed Shisha would come back, but I didn't think he would... Like, I knew something wasn't quite right with Flynn, mostly because of his smile.
Yeah, that is a very un-Flynn-like thing.
Yeah. But I think they should have just let Asahi die. I think that would have been better.
Definitely.
Oh, absolutely, because that would have given me more motivation, and it would have made the game more sad. Because that's what this game needed, was a little bit more, like, sadness.
There wasn't enough despair going on.
There wasn't.
By the time I got... like, Asahi should have come back. You know what it should have been? Weewoo should have offered you, I'll bring back Asahi, if you turn back.
That would have been awesome. And Dogdo would have been like, don't listen to him, kid, you're a good slayer, forget about her, you're so close.
And then, like, your party members would be like, oh, but Asahi.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been
And then they would have been like, no, he's lying, he's full of it, he can't do that.
Well, he could. But
he could, but...
He won't.
He won't, yeah, who's to say he actually will? Like, this is the guy who smites and reincarnates people for all of eternity because they annoyed him.
Now, that I would have accepted. Like, if that was your choice.
Right, because that's a moral choice that you need to make. Moral and, like strategic in a way.
That is the closest thing we have to a Shin Megami Tensei choice.
Right.
That would have been. Because then you have a law route when you accept your happiness with Asahi, but know that you're being controlled by Weewoo.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been fucked up if it's like, yeah, okay, all your friends are happy, but also God is pissed off.
Well, no, God won.
Yeah, he did win.
And that would have made the other route the Chaos route.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And there would have been an actual consequence for it.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem, is that in a way there's neither law, nor neutral, nor chaos.
There's just the best super good time ending.
It basically is.
And then there's the other ending.
It's pretty much undebatably the happiest Megami Tensei ending, period.
Even Persona doesn't come this
Right,
close.
because it's removed from any sort of, like, moral disagreements or, like, political disagreements about, like, how the world should be run or anything. Like, it's just factually a good ending.
Mm-hmm. Like, even with Persona, you could argue that, like, oh, Wadachi was right.
Yeah.
And people have.
Yeah, you could say, like, Persona 3, like, yeah, people legitimately just want to die.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Nick's avatar wouldn't want to kill us.
Yeah. But then here, it's just sort of like, oh no, everything is good now.
Yeah.
And everything will be good forever.
Pretty much. I mean, God does reform himself. Because just the will of humanity believing in him restructures him.
And then there's the other route where...
Ooh, let's talk about that.
Alright, so you have to kill all your friends. And that's a Shin Megami Tensei thing.
It is, but it feels too forced, I think.
Yeah. Like, it is legitimately forced upon you.
Yeah, like, in regular SMT, it feels so natural how it all goes to shit.
Mm-hmm.
But with this, it's just like right before the final boss. Well, semi-final boss.
Yeah.
Doctor's just like, alright, kill him now.
Doctor never really gave you reason.
Right, in a way it wasn't ever even set up like that. Like, I know there's the whole thing, you'll be better off without him. But I never thought it would go to this.
Yeah. And then, like, I'm not going to go... I don't want to go through Weewoo's dimension again, so I'm not going to get that ending.
I probably will at some point. Just because I also want to complete the Demon Compendium.
Do you need to do both routes for that?
I believe you need to get New Game Plus at least once. So the way I see it, I might as well complete the compendium, then get the bad boy ending.
You were naughty.
You've been very naughty, me good slayer. So here's a question. How would you fix the bad boy route?
Alright. Have Dogda say that you can say that while you will be killing them, he'll bring them back as just tools for you.
Ooh, I don't know. That's pretty fucked up.
No. But then when you like try to defend him, you're like, so what good have they done for you? And then like you will have some option. They'll be all like, they're really helpful in battle.
Yeah.
Have him create some tension where he's all like, yeah, but he just keeps you around because you do this.
Yeah, I think the problem is that it's not... Dogda's not really set up well. Like, I like Dogda as a character, but his motivation doesn't quite come together right. Like, I get he wants to kill God.
But him getting rid of your friends is stupid.
Right, because he really has no reason to.
Yeah. Like, if you were to just say they're tools for you. Like, maybe have you just kill them so that way he can have them under his will too. Just something to make it seem like there is an actual good reason for them.
Yeah.
Because as it is, it's like, well, why does Gaston have to die? Why does Navarre have to die again?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to kill everyone.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe it's literally just designed for, like, the sadists.
It's designed for, like, maybe it's if you really believe it's for the people who are, like, the people who would choose the Chaos End because they think that would actually be better.
Oh no, that would be shit. Like, the Strange Journey kind of chaos where it's just like, yeah, man, isn't this cool? There's demons. We gotta struggle to survive. Isn't this awesome? It's like, no. Like, this sucks.
Yeah. Well, maybe if you want to be the king of everything instead of living a happy life.
That's fun. That's like, I'll bring up my favorite game again. Devil Survivor. Like, the whole thing in the Devil Survivor games, it's that pursuit of power that's that makes the Chaos ending so enjoyable.
But the thing about the pursuit of power here is that you know that even after you do achieve the power you get as a good leader, is that you are still in debt to Dogda.
Right.
So if you were to kill Weewoo and get his good powers as the good slayer, you would still be Dogda's good slayer.
Yeah.
And that leaves you with nothing.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to fix this problem. Like, we would have to restructure the whole thing.
The very least, the ending would need to come from people just naturally abandoning you.
Yeah, that's where they screwed up, is they made these characters too likable, I think.
They made them too likable, and they made you like you too much.
And they're too useful, is another thing. Like, it would be something else if, like, in SMT4, for example, like, your party members are pretty fucking useless.
And actively detrimental at times.
Yeah, and on occasion, they will, like, actually just ruin a boss fight. So it's really not and I never really liked those guys that much. Like, they were okay.
They were fun characters, but they were terrible party members.
Right, if Walter and Jonathan fucked off, I didn't care.
But if, say, if Navarre were to fuck off,
that would be a catastrophe.
Yeah. You'd be down with you would lose your big old ghost Nappa.
Yeah, that's how I think it should have been. Is people should have split off, like Toki and Hallelujah are like chaos. Asahi and Navarre, I guess, are neutral. And like,
I'd say Navarre is just always going to be with you.
yeah. And then maybe like, I think Asahi is too committed to you to leave.
Yeah, but
And then Nozomi and fucking Gaston are like law. Now the other question is, do you think it would have been better if they just stuck with law neutral chaos instead of trying this new thing out? Which isn't really new.
Well, if they stuck with law neutral chaos, there'd be no reason for this game to exist.
Exactly. Like, the problem is that final apocalypse, whatever, kind of has to happen in a neutral route. I saw this thing I thought was cool of like a timeline of how apocalypse happens, and it's like the SMT4 chaos route and law route that ends the SMT4 timeline, and then neutral happens, and it either splits off into SMT4 neutral or it splits off into apocalypse, and then those split into the other like 3 or 4 or whatever.
So what do you think about the new demon designs?
Oh, I like them.
There weren't too many of them, though.
Not really.
Plus, I felt like a few of them were missing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we lost Minotaur.
That's true. Minotaur was one of the better ones from SMT4.
Yeah. We lost Minotaur and we lost the Common Rider.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I guess. My favorite new demons are, well, not necessarily new, just redesigned, are Odin and like the Mermaid. I believe Mermaid is new, and Krishna I really like.
Krishna is more of a character than a demon, though.
Yeah, I like that though. I like how he's basically just a human.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed fusing the divine powers at the end of the game.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
The divine powers are a great villainous group.
Mm-hmm. Were the divine powers wrong?
Not really. I'm kind of confused about what their final goal is. My understanding is that Krishna basically wanted to do like human instrumentality from Evangelion, where it's just like a conscience cluster.
And that conscience cluster would stop believing, would all become atheist.
Yeah.
Like Krishna himself, Tips Fedora.
Toots Fedora.
Oh god. He actually achieves human instrumentality, and then the cosmic egg just grows a fedora. It's exactly like Krishna.
Fedora and a toot toot.
And then he just
now comes tumbling down, tumbling down.
But it's being played by the toot toot.
By a kazoo.
And they would collectively stop giving Wee-Woo power, I think.
Pretty much.
I feel like that's a missed opportunity, because Shin Megami Tensei 4 had the white ending.
Yeah, there should have been a fucking Divine Powers ending.
Mm-hmm. Like, it would be a dumb fake ending like Law and Chaos, but it'd be something.
It would basically be like the most purest, truest form of neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have been down for that. I probably wouldn't have done it, but, you know.
Because it's a dumb, bad ending.
Interesting to see. Although I'm scared it might have ended up like the Reason shit, where it's just like you don't really see what happens. Krishna's just like sitting there playing his flute like Willy Wonka, and he's like, this is what we accomplished together, my Kalki, and then gives you a kiss, and then the credits roll. And then Ocelot calls Odin, and he's like, don't worry, we stole the cosmic egg. Yes, thank you, Mr. God.
The Patriots are in this game.
They are! They wanted you to like kill Izanami in a jar or something.
Yeah. And then no, they wanted you to like stop Izanami because they let loose her.
Yeah. Or
And
something.
then you had to go down with Ocelot, and you shot Izanami.
The divine power. So what was Dogda's deal with the... He seemed like he had a relationship with the divine powers, but then he didn't? Like, what was up with that?
Like, the part that really screwed me with that was when Odin was all like, Dogda... Like, he had, like, some formality with Dogda, but then he took it back.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, you and I were once the same god, Odin.
This is headcanon, but my understanding is that Dogda once actually did believe in this idea, but then he was like, no, wait, this idea sucks. And then he went the complete opposite direction. It was like, no group mentality, one person.
Mm-hmm. What was the thing that caused him to split off?
Oh, shit. Hell if I know. Probably something to do with Odin. The game was alluding to them having, like, a failed gay relationship, I think. But...
Nah, my call is Dogda just got sick of hearing Krishna playing the flute. But...
Dude, Dogda was the one who, like, sold him to Sukuna Hikona and fucking sealed him up in the Ark. Because he was so bad at playing the lute, or the violin, or the violin, the flute.
He's like, ah, shit.
Again with the fucking ragas.
Some of us are trying to sleep.
Krishna, that's some nasty ass flute. I hate you so much, but the gods try our game ridiculous.
Aye.
Aye.
Any last thoughts?
I don't know, do you have any?
Would you want another Shin Megami Tensei game to be like this?
I thought you were gonna just end the question with, would you want another Shin Megami Tensei game?
That
like
too.
this? I'm of two minds on this, as I usually am. I'm glad it happened, but I'm scared it will happen again.
Like, if there's going to be a Shin Megami Tensei game to add Izanagi in his Persona incarnation,
This would be the one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very conflicted because I really enjoyed the game.
I loved all the characters.
Yeah, they're great. It's in like my top 3 or 5 Megami Tensei games. But like it's kind of concerning in a way.
Yeah. Like, there was a sign that Persona was starting to leak. It's this.
Yeah. Before, I would have been like, yeah, you're full of shit. Like, Devil Survivor was about as bad as it got. But now, there's perhaps a bit of cause for concern.
Yeah, we have a Bonds route.
Yeah, that on its own is very disturbing.
Yeah. Yeah. Bonds. You don't need them.
The creepiest thing though about the Bonds ending is how Dainu just makes a new Dogda.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? And then you kill the real Dogda. So what's this faker doing? Like, hanging out in the fairy forest, like acting like he's learned a lesson. Like, you're not even the same guy. Like, what did you swap? Like, did Dainu make a copy of their conscience, but just got rid of the bad parts?
No, she straight up made her own version of Dogda without an edge, and then made Dogda look at it. And then, like, the fake Dogda's like, I love the friendship. And then Dogda's like, no, stop it,
that should have been what happened, is you should have just proven to Dogda that friendship's maybe not so bad. And then he would have been like, maybe you're right, good Slayer. And he was like, just do whatever you want, but don't forget, you're still my God Slayer.
Yeah. The fight should have been something similar to the Wee Woo fight when you have the Flynn party.
Mm-hmm.
You should have just had all your friends have split up into 2 parts.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. And you're just dying in the background, but you have to control like party 1 and party 2.
Oh, that would have been sick.
You can overthrow Dogda, then he'll be like, okay, I get it. I get it now, good Slayer.
Now I get it. So this is the power of the bonds.
Not dead.
God Slayer. Aye.
But how would those 2 parties be split?
Let's see. One would probably be led by Asahi.
But Navarre can't lead a party.
Right. Did this happen before or after Asahi was resurrected?
It was before.
Was it?
Yeah.
Right. Didn't you beat Mitra Buddha and then she came back?
No. You beat Dogda, and because like Dogda's not going to bring your friend back.
Right.
He doesn't even like them.
So was it fake Dogda? What the hell brought her back?
Fake Dogda did.
Fake Dogda. That's so creepy. The idea that fake Dogda.
He's not even fake Dogda.
He is Dogda. It's just so creepy. It's like dirty deeds done dirt cheap or something.
No, she just gave birth to a new dog.
Right. Like it should have been like, all right, you beat Dogda's ass. Like if you're given a choice to either kill him or not. If you kill him, he gets brought back as like a good boy or something. But that would have been just as creepy. I think the whole Dogda being remade thing should have just been left out. Because it's both creepy and doesn't make sense.
Daniel should have just given you your own life.
Yeah. Like, you're God Slayer no more. And then you're fixed.
No, well, you're still a God Slayer.
You're still a God Slayer, but now you're just a boy.
You're your own God Slayer.
Yeah.
I love how Dogda reacts to the existence of the new Dogda.
Yeah. He's just like, what?
That's supposed to be me?
God, what a shitty fate.
Yeah.
That'd be like if I brought it, it's like, hey, check it out. It's the new flare. And then fucking blew your brains out.
No. It'd be like, this is the new flare. And the new flare is just like, I'm the new flare. I like Fuka more than Nout. And then like, that's supposed to be me? And you're like, yeah.
Blam.
And then you shoot me. And the last thing I see before I die is a new player that is betraying all of my values. Would you recommend Apocalypse?
In general, absolutely.
No, but who?
Who would I recommend it to?
Yes.
I think this is the audience it would most work for, is if you like SMT and can tolerate Persona, or if you like both of them.
What about, alright. Would you use this to introduce someone to the Megami Tensei series?
No, mostly because of the story, I think is kind of difficult for somebody to get into who hasn't played 4.
They do a decent job at telling.
Yeah, it's an okay job, but like this is one of those things I'll never know the answer to because I played 4, and so in my mind I'm like, this is so difficult for somebody who hasn't to get into it, you know?
I completely forgot 4, so
Me too. So I take it you like this one more than 4.
Yes.
Me too, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Especially because they removed this stupid fiend bullshit from 4.
Oh god, getting the fiends in that was impossible.
I would. I'm not sure if I can recommend it to someone who only likes the mainline games.
I mean, I feel like the story and characters will drive you crazy.
Yeah.
But the gameplay is so solid.
Mm-hmm. If you want more Shin Megami Tensei gameplay at its finest, there you go.
Yeah.
But if you want Shin Megami Tensei story at its finest, go away.
I don't know if it's necessarily the story that's a problem. The endings are the bigger issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the whole lead up to it is good. It's just that like the towards
ultimately
the
culminates.
end, yeah, is kind of the problem.
When the paths split, things.
Yeah.
And closing with. Or we gotta have a closing one-liner.
Okay.
Why is this video still going on? Fither.
No, I'm not a fifth slayer. If I was a fifth slayer, I'd kill myself.
Well, you should. You have friends.
No, I don't. Okay, that's how I'll end it. Ooh.